Hey, what is up, dudes and dudettes? This is Diligence here. I think it's time that we go back to our old famous ticker MMAT. Since right now the entire metaverse shenanigan is really hot in the market, and a lot of people are betting on Facebook, aka Meta platforms, and therefore MetaMaterial is gonna become one of the hottest stocks because MetaMaterials is also investing in the entire metaverse thingy because George is trying to land a lot of hardware contracts with companies that want to be a part of this virtual reality hype. And second of all, a lot of people are mistakenly think that this meta is the other meta, or they think both of them are related. So we're just gonna play into this hype train on no fundamentals really, because there's no fundamental really update from George or anyone. If there's any fundamental updates, I will let you guys know, because MMAT is still a part of our holdings. We still hold like a couple thousand shares of MMAT. Should be interesting to see what the development is gonna be, especially they might enlist MMAT into the metaverse ETF that was coming out, and it's traded higher and higher over time, and a lot of people are betting that MetaMaterial is going to take contract, become a contract provider or become a hardware provider for Facebook. But I don't really think that would be the case. I think MetaMaterial is going to be one of those long tail sort of end suppliers that not really the biggest, providers can seek their supply, but maybe the little small ones, and they add them up. But if eventually they land a contract with Facebook, or right now known as Meta platforms, then we should be all happy. Stock price is gonna skyrocket or whatever, right? If they just even like land a small contract with I don't know, like any hardware company or any hardware company that are willing to sort of invest in hardware. Because Oculus, and let's just say, because Google Glass is a flop right now, I don't really think Google's going to pick it up again. But if they do, I know what Google is going to buy from, but definitely not MetaMaterials. But I don't really know what Facebook's going to buy from. Seems like Facebook got a professor that used to work and study at CMU, and it seems like they had a partnership with that professor's team, and that professor is trying to do a thin layer of material that will help enhance the VR and AR experience, and hopefully that have some connection with MetaMaterial itself. But if it doesn't, then we might see some problems. But in the next few weeks or in the next few days, if the general market condition is good, we will see MetaMaterial trying to push this very, very reddish dark line. Again, we draw these lines like months ago, right? We call this yellow line the G-spot line, okay? No pun intended, but this is the G-spot line. So whenever the price go over the G-spot line, that means momentum reaches a certain point. Because in order to reach G-spot line, you have to have momentum stacking up. We do have that, okay? And second of all, if you reach the G-spot and stabilize there, that means the stock is ready to go even higher. Or it's basically, I don't know how to make it like not sexual in terms of like the reference, because it's YouTube, so I can't really say anything like super sexual. So a better it's like a rocket, right? Like you started like fueling up, and eventually it's gonna boom, right? So this is the same thing. Like when it reaches G-spot, and then it stabilizes the G-spot for a period of time, and eventually it reaches like the threshold line, which is the red line, and it will just skyrocket all over to like 5.8-ish. But again, right, a lot of people still think that the true value is about $4.8 to $5. So then what our strategy before is right around $4 or $4.20 or $4.30, $4.40, we start buying $5 call options. And a lot of you are accusing me of not telling you guys what we're buying. I mean, I can tell you right now what we did is we bought the January $5 call options. We bought the April $5 call option. I mean, March $5 call option, or April, I don't remember the specific details. And last week we bought the $5 call option that ended this week because we anticipate a final NASDAQ drop. And if you go look at other meme stocks, including AMC and GME, you'll realize that, hey, a lot of those have a run, and then it's going to keep running a little bit more, and then it's going to go to correction. and they all go over their G-spot line. And we just saw MMAT go over the G-spot line today, so we still have a couple of days to run. And let's count the day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So hopefully they have 2 more days to run, and hopefully we'll get to $6 because a lot of my Patreon members hold $6 call options. And again, I'm sort of swaying away from buying call options that are really out of money for a contract for a stock like metamaterial that is like $5-ish and $6 call options. A little bit risky in terms of like the short-term state of decay and everything. But hey, if you guys think that it's gonna reach $6 in about a week, then be my guest. Start buying $6 calls, and by the time it actually reaches $6, the $6 call is probably gonna be twice the amount of value than right now, because you also have to account it for the FOMO trade and everything. But again, when the stock reaches $6 again, and I probably will start posting Patreon content on Patreon and telling people that hey, maybe it's time to sell cover calls and at what point, and maybe give out some strategies and everything. For those of you who are like, oh my god, it's gonna be a huge squeeze. We actually don't know if it's gonna be a huge squeeze or not, because if you actually go look at the short volume, MMAT, you will realize that, fascinatingly speaking, MMAT's short interest has been flat, and the active short interest on the stock is actually like, if you look at the acceleration rate of it, it's actually like started to flatten out a little bit. I mean, it's normal for a small cap to 50-50 order flow that have 50 buying in and 50 shorting it, so it's kind of healthy right now. And by the time it reaches $6 or maybe $7, who knows, right? If it reaches $6 or $7, then the short volume probably gonna increase to like 60%, 70%, and then it will probably short squeeze a little bit more over there, and then it's gonna probably just bang go down again, right? But for us, we're holding it. We're probably gonna hold it for a longer period of time, because this is the only metamaterial company on the market, so we don't really have any choice, right? And if we hold it for a longer period of time, we just sell cover calls to basically take our profit. Basically, we're realizing our profit by selling cover calls, and then we don't need to sell our physical shit. Anyways, this is it for this video. We're hopeful that metamaterial will reach 6 again. About a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, we started talking about like our year-end prediction for metamaterial. We're saying that it should be about $6, and it's very consistent with all the other major analysts on the market, or major good analysts on the market. We all think that $6-ish is somewhere where it should be lying, and consider that taper is happening, and this company doesn't have any debt, 0 debt actually. If you go look at their balance sheet, it should be a pretty cool investment to stay in as of right now. All right, see you guys on the upside.